All right.
We are live.
We're live on this Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
For those of you who tuned in last week, I obviously survived the homeowner orientation with that difficult homeowner yesterday.
I didn't
Uh,
get taken out by Jason with his machete and hockey mask.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, believe it or not, not as bad as everyone kept saying he was. Just he wanted honest answers and transparency about what was going on with his house, like just about every other homeowner I've ever dealt with.
Did you lie to him?
No, no,
Oh,
I told him what I knew and what I didn't know. I told him like, look, I'm working on finding that out. But
should have lied to him.
yeah, I know. But
You get that kind of trust, you got to abuse it.
sometimes, no, you know what they say: with great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben, wise man, wise man.
Isn't that one of those Mandela effect things where everybody like attributes that to like Spider-Man or something?
Yes,
Did Uncle Ben say it?
Uncle.
I
Well, it
thought
depends on which version or branch of the multiverse you go off of. So,
well, see, I haven't really watched Spider-Man since what's
Tobey
his name?
Maguire.
Yeah. So I think didn't Stan Lee say it in that one?
No, that was Uncle Ben.
Was it Uncle Ben in that one?
Yeah, that was the character who played Uncle Ben. I believe the Stan Lee character was whenever they had that other guy. I forget that actor's name. Um, Whenever they remade Spider-Man after Tobey Maguire, that's when Stan Lee said it in. And then in the most recent one with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, they had Aunt May say it right before she died. Which I think of those three, Stanley was the only one that didn't die after he said it. So
Which is kind of ironic because wasn't he dead when they made the multiverse one?
yes,
Yeah, I think so.
yes. But anywho, getting sidetracked. What do you want to do first? You want to get the boring housekeeping out of the way first, about the affiliates and everything like that, or you want me to jump into this outstanding quote I spent all of 45 minutes researching?
You researched a quote for 45 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
You
man.
you find a quote that you like, and then you get the guy's name, and then if
Well,
you want
this
to
guy
get
has no
really
name.
crazy with it,
I
you
try to find a name for this one. I couldn't find the name. It's Arthur Unknown.
do you mean author,
Yeah,
not Arthur?
well, one of the two. Anyway,
We have to start out with our very important, super inspiring quote.
all right. All right. So the quote this week,
I'm gonna Google
ladies,
that quote while you say it.
you are.
Yes. I'm gonna figure out who said it.
Yeah. So the quote that inspired me today uh, is a from the source I found on. It said Arthur Unknown, author unknown.
It's with a
But
U.
yes. But anyways, it's a careful reading of history shows that most people don't read history. So take that
Which
for
is
what it
very
is.
true.
Yeah, I think it's very thought provoking. And all that
It's
good stuff
Richard
there.
Keys.
Who? Richard who? Keys? Peas?
Oh, wait a minute. That might not be right. That's not the quote. Damn you, Google.
I googled failed us again.
Google has failed us again. Usually Google is very smart. Clearly it's a man. It knows everything.
But yet he knows nothing.
A very, very similar one by Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's probably something that he said that's been kind
been
of
changed through the years.
bastardized over time.
Yeah. Well, like all good things, you gotta rewrite history and make it your own.
Like all good things, the government has to screw it up.
Yep. Because we can't make our day to day lives interesting without the government fiddle farting around with them.
We have another channel devoted to that we've never done anything with.
Yeah. Maybe we do that on our off weeks from this.
It's an idea.
It's an idea. See, I'm thinking.
Apparently, this Richard Keys guy is an American painter. Did a lot of abstract art. There's also a sports commentator and a guy by the name of Rick Keys, who's the CEO of Meyer, which is I want to say that's a hardware store, isn't it? Or is that a grocery store?
I think it's a grocery store.
I think it's a grocery store. And what's the There's a hardware store that's very similar.
Yeah.
May something.
Well, now that I got the quote out of the way, what you got for us, Nick?
I have really nothing new. I guess we probably should go over it though, because we do have a couple of new subscribers that may be watching. If you're returning to the show, welcome back. If you're new to the show, this show should come with a disclaimer. Basically same old though. Go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to it. Look in the description of all the videos because we have all kinds of goodies in there. There's links to Facebook groups, Twitter feeds, Instagram. There's also a link to a PayPal. If you think we deserve $1 and want to send that our way, we will be eternally grateful. Caleb will say your name with his on camera with his terrible Wi-Fi.
I got better Wi-Fi now that I got the booster.
Yeah, we'll unplug it when we do the name. So.
Oh yeah, that'll make things interesting.
We'll go back to the Mickey Mouse Wi-Fi.
There we go.
Jay is not with us today because he sucks. That's 2 in a row. I think after 3 we execute him, right?
Yeah, that 3 strike rule, right?
Isn't that what they do in baseball? Will Caleb use my donation for his walls? Probably not.
I mean, every little bit helps. You never know.
He's actually that background that you see behind him there. That's a green screen. He's actually at a McDonald's right now.
Yeah. Yep, sitting inside the McDonald's now that they open up the dining area again.
Yeah, if you hear, all kinds of noise in the background and stuff like that, it's just kids playing.
Yep.
Don't even worry about it.
Yep.
But
yeah, I guess
is that our housekeeping? We do it?
Yeah, I think that was. I think we got the housekeeping done.
I think we're done until it's time for like shout outs, credits, whatever you want to call them at the end.
Yeah. So this week we decided to make it easy on ourselves and just do a little Q&A. Ask questions. We'll give you answers. Might not be the answers you want to hear, but we'll give you some sort of answer.
Oh, we will give some very honest answers.
Yep. Free range on questions, right? Or there's some sort of house rules we got going on there, Nick?
No, pretty much free range on questions. About the only thing I'm not going to tell anybody is where I work and how much money I make. That's about the only 2 things. I mean, that's up to you if you want to say that. I mean, I don't have any problem with where I work or how much money I make, but I kind of feel like it's nobody's business but my own. And I've seen a lot of guys on like Facebook get in trouble with people finding out where they work. So I just keep that personal.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Usually, once you start posting stuff on social media, that's when the boss man's like, "Well, you can't, put that on social media because we don't pay Jimmy the same amount."
Oh, are you kidding me? My boss is probably watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the new subscribers. He found out at a staff meeting last week that I had a channel, and he was like, "Oh, what is it? Send me the link." He's like, "I'm subscribing to it." Okay, cool.
Nice. Yeah, I sent a link to two of the guys I work with. So we'll.
I know there's a couple guys that I work with that do watch and stuff, but I mean, we all kind of know what everybody makes anyway.
Yeah.
It's I have seen people on Facebook. So when I was still on Facebook, I was a moderator for a HVAC group, and I can't tell you how many times two guys would get into an argument over some stupid shit. Something about, oh, it's better to route the wire up over this than it is to go up under some shit that doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, everybody that's a moderator or a admin is getting a freaking message about somebody getting somebody in trouble at work because they figured out that they worked there and they called their boss and did this. And I'm like, dude, what do you even want me to do about that?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to get you your job back? Like,
You decided to get into that argument.
yeah, you're the one that fucking told them where you worked.
Yeah. Well, I'll work here, and this is why we do it this way. It's like, well, you're doing it there. It's a code violation.
And yeah, exactly. So, for example, this probably won't mean a whole lot to the people out there, but I'll try and explain it to YouTube and land. Like in Florida, ductboard is extremely common, which ductboard is just like insulation that's like pressed down and glued together. Okay. It's extremely common over there. It's not common. It's kind of common here where I am, but not nearly as common as it is in Florida. And you'll see guys get on there and just argue to the end of the day about how ductboard is crap and this and that, and you're a hack for putting this in and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, he's in Florida. Every
Yeah.
house under the sun down there has freaking ductboard in it.
Yeah.
And they're
Well,
like, oh, I live in Ohio and you can't put that crap in here. It's outlawed and blah, blah, blah. And so, well,
Well,
okay.
that's Ohio, not Florida.
Yeah. Or like, just like there's little nuanced stuff with like the code on a gas line is, you put this thing, 90 degrees this way over here. And, in this area of the country, you put it, 90 degrees the other way, and they'll piss and moan about that. And it's like, dude, it's, some of that shit is broken down by local code.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then, like we're kind of touching base in the last stream we did, depending on where you live, you have different, you have like county codes, and then you have municipal codes and stuff like that, like building codes or requirements,
some stupid little, especially like my area and your area have a lot of little one light towns, and you'll have a one light town that has one stupid rule about something that another town doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, only who's that? Angie, or is that how you pronounce that name? Angie Gray.
Looks like Angie to me.
Blowing up the comment section
so far.
All four other people on silent. No questions. No questions.
Is that great? Are you getting 4 off of your phone?
I see 5.
So yours shows 5. My phone shows 6, and the live stream up here thingy, which I know you can't see or nobody else can see, but basically in like the top left corner, I have a timer and a viewer count that shows 7.
All right.
So It's very consistent.
We're somewhere
price point.
between 5 and 7.
Somewhere between 5 and 8. We don't really know.
Yep.
Oh, Girth is in the chat. Girth,
Yep.
there's no Jay today because he sucks. If you guys want to ask us questions that are questions for Jay, we'll go ahead and speculate and answer for him and make wild accusations.
Yeah, we're excellent at ruining people's character.
Hey, you guys have no idea.
Yeah. But in the midst of ruining people's character,
there's some people that if our word carried any weight would probably be in prison.
Yeah, but and at the same time,
for things that they may or may not have done, we have no idea.
Yeah, but yet our theories are solid and well thought out and are very plausible in a perfect world.
I mean, I was the one that figured out that your sister's dating a guy that's in witness protection.
I think, well, after you mentioned it, it made a lot more sense. Because
it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? There's no way that that's a real name. We can't even say his real name because we're going to blow up a spot and the mob's going to kill him.
Yeah, I know. And I don't think my sister would be too happy. But I mean, let's be honest. How many people, like anyone that has a athletic object in their name,
we're getting probably ballsy with that.
Isn't legit.
That's like an outdoor activity.
Yeah. Well, depending on your definition of a sport or activity.
And okay, according to Wikipedia, it's described as a gliding toy.
Gliding toy. Well,
so yeah, he's not even an activity. This guy.
Gareth, I like that question.
Not well, because he couldn't make the show.
No, Gareth,
prayers.
Not too sure, but I would say it's probably not going too good since he hasn't been on the last 2 shows.
Yeah, I mean, he missed two streams, so he definitely needs the thoughts and prayers. We might have to get a GoFundMe together for him.
Yeah. Donate now to help pay for the gas for me and Nick to make that trip up to where he lives in the one of the backward states. Probably not the area he lives in though, because sorry, Call. We made the comment several times that these were our people.
Definitely not the people that he hangs out with. No.
The people he hangs out with are definitely.
But yes, the money will go to gas because we are not giving it to him.
Yes. But it will go to a good cause because we'll use it for gas to go up there to get him and bring him back.
There you go.
Spenity.
I wonder what happens if you bounce a check for that. What happens? Do they revert you back to your original gender? How's that work?
They come repo the parts they put on you.
That's what I'm wondering. Do they reattach things?
Because, so here's my thing with something like that. Because you know how most medical expenses and stuff like that, let's say you had to go to a hospital and you get a huge medical bill, you can't ever pay it, right? Or you have trouble paying it. It's not supposed to affect your line of credit. But yet
But it definitely does.
Yeah.
That's a thinker.
That is a thinker. Well, while we're waiting for some questions to come in, you want to talk about some of the little DIY projects you got going on or lined up to work on your end?
No, it'll just kind of depress me about all the stuff that I have to do.
Gotcha.
You got anything interesting?
Yeah, I'm almost done. I've got a new utility shed. Nothing big, just a little 3x5 that I'll throw together to clean out my woodworking shop that's littered with the woodworking tool or yard tools and everything like that. So I'm making a little 3x5 shed for my yard tools like shovels, rakes, you know, stuff that doesn't involve woodworking or carpentry. I'm going to throw in there. But got it framed up, got a good solid foundation, and got roof on it before the rain hit. All I need now is siding and a door. It'll be right as rain.
Thought you had the door already.
I do have the door. I just
Oh, you
haven't
just gotta
installed it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually building the mounting the door to the actual frame of the building itself. So everything's framed out. Just got to throw some sheathing up and then the siding, and I'll be done. Which probably get done sometime next week if I can get.
You
off
guys been
early,
getting as much rain as we have?
Yesterday it downpoured for a solid 45 minutes, and then it pretty much stopped, and then it was off and on drizzles throughout the night and this morning, and then pretty much cleared up and was sunny and 75 all day long until about 6, and then it rained from 6 to about 7. Now it just stopped. So.
He said this just in. Jay said it went well.
Hey, look, JB. I guess he's watching it wherever he is. Hope recovery's going well there, Jay. I'll send flowers.
I'm wondering though, because he wasn't here last week, and that was very suspicious circumstances, and we only really primarily communicate through text. And then this week he has a family cookout. I'm thinking his woman has had enough of his shit.
Because
no anybody can send a text.
Anybody. And anyone, if they have the right passwords to beat out of you, can log in as you on your YouTube account.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm assuming I'm assuming she has access to his phone and he stays logged into YouTube like, 99% of the world does.
Yeah.
Donate to our GoFundMe so we can go see if Jay's wife killed him. Oh, he's saying send him a link.
I'll hop on.
This is going to be interesting. All right. Will you talk for a second while I do that?
All right. Well, while Nick sends a link to Jay, let's see.
This is going to be weird. We're going to get Mrs. Bartrug on the thing.
Yeah. Gareth,
one way or another.
Is Gareth, he's stateside, right? Or is that the guy
he's in Australia.
I wonder if do y'all have the same texting and driving laws? Because pretty sure
they're probably more strict, if anything.
I know they can't own any type of anything that resembles a weapon.
They have like super strict laws when it comes to weaponry. Like I don't want to speak out of turn, but I want to say from talking to him that they like basically what it requires for like us to get like a pistol.
Can you guys hear me? I don't know if it's going to show me or not.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I don't know, for whatever reason it's not showing me. Huh? I just jumped in randomly. My wife's already trying to commandeer my shit. See that shit?
No, you're just a black screen.
I don't know why it's not. I have the camera set to be on. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's too dark.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Brighter than your future.
Turn the fucking light off. It could stay dark. I'll go upstairs for a minute, baby. That was way too for me.
But yeah, I want to say, like, as far as their laws on, like, knives, it's like the equivalent of us going and buying like a rifle.
What's that?
It's like,
If the knife is sharp, you cannot own it. You have to have a Class 3 license for it to be sharp.
Are you talking
I
about
mean, pretty much.
They're trying to.
Let's see. I mean, he can confirm that when he gets to where he's going.
Yeah.
Oh no, we want to see.
There we go. Holy fuck, it's bright. I've been outside in the dark at the fire pit. So.
Brighter
Must
than your
not be a
future.
good fire.
Yeah.
Must
So
not be a good fire if you're out there in the fire pit and can't see nothing.
Yeah.
this is straight off of the Victorian legal aid. legalaid.victoria.gov.australia. You cannot carry knives, including kitchen knives, Swiss Army knives, or box cutters, batons, cattle prods, or bayonets without a lawful excuse.
Wow. I mean, I know here we have like some specific laws on like bayonets and what are those things called the cops have? Basically,
Like 80Ps or ADRs or something.
I know we have specific laws on that shit, but phew, those guys down there got to have a permit for a slingshot.
He said I'm using the voice to text thing.
How do I get to? Oh, chat. Here we go. Sorry, I wanted to monitor the chat, and I'm like,
How do I do technology?
I have never done it this way, so
What, on your
IDT
phone?
technology.
I don't. My phone, or I use the laptop, so I don't know how to roll around this shit.
Gotcha.
Oh my god, we're into double-digit viewers. This is rare for
Are we?
us.
My count is
Yeah. 10 is 2 digits, 1 and 0. Oh, 9.
Dude, my count's still saying we're only at 5. What do we do? Like, just jump?
Well, it's your fucking internet. It lags so far behind.
Well, right now yours is lagging, Jay. So
Listen, man, I'm using cellular data. I'm not using fucking internet like you.
This is going to cost him a fortune by the time we're done with this.
My shit's up.
yeah.
Shut up. Don't
Booyah.
spoil the joke.
How's your week been, Jay? Anything interesting go on?
I mean, I think Nick's seen the pictures of shit that caught on fire for me, but you know, and shit that tried to blow me up, but I survived.
Just like the song says.
Yeah, I had a unit over here in the city that the compressor actually. This is why I was telling people like to be really, really careful when they're pulling the wiring harnesses off of Copeland compressors, because it's really easy to pull the terminals off, and that's because people did that to check this unit, and they actually weakened the terminals on it, so it ended up leaking oil out of its terminals while it was running, and the hot oil shot up into the electrical section, so it immediately caught fire. And,
Oh, nice.
I mean, it burned everything. It was very much burned.
It was very much burnt. Actually,
I think Nick has a picture of it. That damn thing burned
I
up.
do. I'll email it to myself so I can share it on here.
Did I send you a picture of the disconnect too that blew my ass up almost?
No.
I might not have sent that.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Okay. So I went to a location that was freshly renovated, and it's something that we were just actually taking over because it was previously something else, you know. So it was just one of those stores, as they open new ones and renovate stuff, you know, we're taking over because we're contracted through that company. So I shut the disconnect off, and I was actually opening the disconnect door because I know because like it's a new place, so I'm trying to figure out what unit does the store. So I was looking in the unit because sometimes people label in there inside a disconnect door, what it does and where the breaker is.
Running out of room.
It was a situation, kind of partially of luck and partially of like, thank God I was prepared, because I had like the palms of my gloves were rubberized, and I had one hand on a rubberized roof, but my left hand was on the disconnect door, and the people who ran the electrical feed to the disconnect, they put the disconnect on the curb that the RTU sits on. So I was kneeled down and looking in front of it, because obviously I'm trying to see if there's anything written in there. They nicked the wire from the breaker. So as soon as I opened the door and pushed it back to try to lock it in, the line voltage from the breaker immediately hit the door that was in my hand and exploded in my face. I mean, it was just a shower of sparks and smoke. And I mean, you're always prepared for shit to happen, but you're never prepared to be electrocuted,
You're never really ready to be blown up.
Luckily that day I had the rubber gloves on, and the rubber roof under me that had no water in it and things like that. It was just everything was on my side that day. But 240 volts. That day, 240 volts would have hit my heart, and that probably, if it didn't kill me, it would have knocked me on my ass for a while.
That's always what you want to do, is make sure that the power crosses your heart.
Yeah. It was just a situation. It was, I mean, but like I said, I mean, the rubber roof probably would have saved me.
I got your photo.
Oh, perfect. Too. Probably would have got hit my left arm and left leg, but it still may have came to my heart, just not as bad. But it's just that stuff was only 2 years old. That was the unit that got fire. That was the unit the compressor blew up, oil, and it actually burned. The unit was literally on fire. It was burning for a few minutes.
Well, it's a carrier.
I'm not like someone who's like, everything I got to do is gotta be by the OSHA handbook, but that was something I posted just to be, like people to be aware, like, there is a level of safety you do need to follow, because 20 minutes before that unit caught on fire, somebody was standing directly in front of it. And directly in front of it, Nick knows, from carrier, you have to be right in front of it to run it in test mode. Like, you have to jump things out and everything else. So 20 minutes before that happened, somebody was right there. And, if that hot oil would have shot out while they were standing there.
That pin would have probably shot out and killed you. Well, it didn't actually shoot the pins out, though.
It didn't shoot the pins out. It was actually the round portion that the pins sit on that separated from the compressor that actually caused this. But, still.
The Fusite.
Never know what would have happened if somebody was standing there. Really. Yeah. You don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not Mr. OSHA over here, but you really have to be on your fucking toes. If I didn't have rubber gloves on while I was opening that disconnect, I don't know if I would have been sitting here talking today, really, because that much voltage hits your heart. I've had 120 volts hit my heart before, and I was scared because my heart was all over the place.
And that's what me and you were talking about.
Yeah.
I think we were texting about it back and forth. I hate these freaking things. They run 3 wires up there, 3-phase wire, 10 gauge wire or whatever it is. And they don't run a freaking ground along with it. I mean,
and you know what? And Nick's right on the fucking money with this, because The
What's it gonna cost them? An extra freaking $2 to run that shit?
wasn't grounded. The unit that almost blew my ass up wasn't grounded. The unit I just posted on Facebook the other day, it wasn't a unit that I service, and a unit that my company didn't service, but it wasn't grounded. That unit that caught on fire that Nick showed, where the unit literally burned, the fucking breaker didn't trip. There was still live voltage on the roof because it wasn't grounded. It didn't know that there was a problem. So you come up to a unit that looks like that still has 480 coming to it, 483 phase coming to it. You know, that's fucking insanity. Truthfully. You know,
So how did you almost die this week, Caleb?
Yeah, I didn't.
Not, you know, I mean,
Nothing that exciting.
you have your own problems. I'm not saying that you are like me and Nick and shit happens regularly. You definitely have your own set of problems, no doubt. But you know, and my
What
thing,
the hell was I doing the other day? I was doing something like either today or yesterday or something that I was like, man, the fucking dumb shit that we have to do.
yeah, my thing was I just wanted to make people more aware. You know, don't just walk up and fucking think everything's gonna be hunky dory, because it's not. This unit was 2 years. I thought everything was okay, and I opened the disconnect, and if I didn't have gloves on, I might not be standing here. I might be in the hospital with fucking arrhythmia because my heart was all screwed up because of getting power to it. You know, I might not even be alive. You know, I don't know, because that unit was obviously the amperage is big enough to kill someone. Because if you read about power, it takes 1/4 of an amp to stop a heart if it hits.
I don't think it even takes that much.
Yeah. So you got.
I mean, it's been a minute, but I don't think it even takes that much.
Yeah, when I was in school, it was 1/4 of an amp. You know, it's probably less now, but that's since I've researched it. But you got something that's got 40 amps to it. You know, that's more than enough to kill me easily. It could kill me and everybody I work with, and keep going. You know,
It's something like microscopic. I mean, now, granted, there's factors to that.
there's factors to it. There's factors with your heart, but the main thing that actually does it is it upsets.
It changes the beat of your heart.
Yeah, it upsets the rhythm of your heart. That's the biggest part of it. It's not that it stops your heart or blows your heart up or this
Nope.
or that. It just upsets the rhythm of your heart. So instead of pumping when it needs to, you know, it might pump and then wait a while and then pump again, and you know, you're kind of like.
Well, it's kind of like a computer. You just open 14 tabs on Google and are playing music on 7 of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're going to go on there and try and watch a video now, too.
Things start slowing down.
It does save lives in many ways, Angie.
It's very topical, honestly.
I tell you what, you know.
I mean,
it's saved
probably in more ways than she knows.
it saved my life the other day. I know that much, you know.
There's one place that they make us wear leather gloves to like do any kind of electrical stuff if we're working inside of an electrical cabinet. And me and my infinite wisdom was like, you know, that doesn't work. Those leather gloves are useless the first time that you sweat inside of them, right? Like, I was like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, that
Rubber is your true friend.
And even then, if they get even the tiniest hole in them, they don't work. Much like what Angie's talking about.
They me lowering my shit down the roof. Well, I got the rope burning through my fucking gloves, and I wear a hole.
Well, if you're sweating, especially sweat, that's what people don't realize. Like the salt in your sweat and everything conducts like.
Yeah, sweat's your biggest enemy. Or Christ, I'm coil cleaning. My gloves get wet, and then I grab that disconnect, and that's some bitch shorts out like that. You know, it's easy.
I was helping another guy change a condenser fan motor on a chiller the other day, and it was funny because the place that we're at, and not that there's anything wrong with it, but they're all about like you got to put your lock on it, and it, blah blah blah, all this stuff about locks. Just
I'm
eat this.
okay with the lock thing if there's more than one person present, because it's easy enough for someone else to walk up.
Trust me, this place, the maintenance guys are idiots. You should probably put a lock on it.
Right. Or, like I said, if I'm working with somebody else, even at my company, or if I'm working with a maintenance guy of a particular facility, I got a lock on there. If I'm by myself,
If I'm by myself on the roof, then
if I'm by myself on the roof just swapping filters,
or just cleaning coils or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever.
shut the bitch off. But
Yeah.
Then
But,
again, I have a perfect storm situation from earlier this week in Amazon. Couldn't figure out this unit trip.
hold that thought for a second. You got to hear this. They're
Good.
all about these locks, right? Right. So we throw our locks on it, change the motor on the chiller. The motor is unwired in the control cabinet so that we can keep the unit running without it tripping the breaker or anything, because the motor had a short in it. To
Right.
do anything on the control panel in this chiller, you have to stand in a puddle of water that is always there.
Yeah.
I was like,
I have a story about
good
that.
thing we put our locks on so that we can stand in this puddle and then work on the electricity,
Yeah, because
which
that,
the puddle is pretty much there because of their negligence.
Yeah, so actually, it's hysterical that you're talking about that, because, like, in the story I was going to give you, that's part of my fucking gripe.
What?
So
Hang on, I'll let you cue that up.
I'm working on a Trane Voyager. HVAC people like me and Nick are very familiar with such. So
I like the Trane Voyagers.
I get to this Amazon location, and they're like, the issue is communication loss. So my job
Here,
is basically
we'll throw that up there since that was last week.
to the extent of my abilities, extinguish all options that could relate to my unit as far as communication problems, because most of the communication systems draw power from my units naturally, because those systems control my units. So I walk up to this Voyager, breaker's trip. Okay, so I start going through the whole thing. I mean, top to bottom, left to right, everything I could possibly go through, I went through. Didn't find any issues. And so what I was actually going to do, these are units that are equipped with breakers inside the units. So the actual method of a disconnect is a breaker itself. And so I was actually going to turn the breaker on. And this was a situation in which the roof didn't drain that well. I'm standing in water, 480, 3-phase, coming up to this unit. And I started to push the breaker up, and I started to hear, like, this is something where, like, people talk about don't have headphones in, don't have music playing in this type of situation, because
Touch the unit with the back of your hand when you walk up to it.
yeah, you miss things. So I started pulling it up, and then
the door squeaked open, and it was Jason, because it's Friday the 13th.
exactly. So I started pulling the breaker up, and I started hearing a bunch of popping and crackling, and here the issue was. Sorry, niece and nephew are going to bed. The issue is that the unit had developed a leak somewhere, and water was getting into the breaker. So that breaker was full of water, and then I turned down and looked at it after the noises, and it was actually wet. So it was wet and full of water and shorted out while I was standing in water in front of it. So if I would have hit that power, I don't know what would have happened.
You got a big fireball out of it for sure.
Yeah, and I might have got like an ouch or two. But
Would have made for a better story.
it's still powered off to this day because it was
Sorry.
not happy.
I mean,
It's just
it would have made for a better story.
made for a better story, but at the same time, you two might not.
We
have
may
been-
not have gotten the story, but
Yeah, you may
Yeah.
not have gotten here because you might have been at my funeral.
I go to PA again.
I know you go to PA again, but
stop
would you
that.
prefer to be when I'm dead?
No.
I don't
Okay.
know if it was anything like your wedding.
Listen, that was a good fucking deny it.
I still owe Caleb.
Let us know when
punch
you're
in
ready
the
for
eye.
round two. Not talking about the wedding, but
Yeah, no,
Just
we,
round-
I mean,
few
if
of
you
us
want to get
always-
divorced and get married again, I mean, we're not going to stop you.
well, that's just part of my thing is like, just make sure you're really thorough with shit, because you really don't know what's going to happen. Anytime.
life's too short, man.
Angie, I would share that, but I have no earthly idea where you sent that to. So
Messenger, Nick.
So,
Can't you read?
Um,
You illiterate.
I think I forget the
oh,
weekend.
Facebook Messenger? I don't have Facebook Messenger, so
I was looking at a weekend. I'll have to get back to you guys on it, but I was looking at, maybe, like I said before, working like, 410s and 410s and taking a 4-day weekend and coming down to Virginia. That way I could go down to Virginia. You guys could come up. So, I just got a video from Angie, so that might be what she was talking about. I don't know.
can you screen share from your thing?
I'm gonna be truthful, dude. I do not know how to do that from
Email
my
it to Nick.
phone. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Oh,
Hey,
great
Angie, if
Q&A,
you can-
guys.
Angie, if you can email it to this email address. And I'll see if I can do that.
Jay, you still there? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm here. I was at my Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I don't have Facebook or Messenger. I actually I kept Messenger for a little while, but then it started being dumb shit too, so I got rid of it. And Jay muted himself, and I don't think he even realizes it.
No, I did it on purpose because I'm gonna piss.
Oh. Way to do that incognito style. There are limitations to what YouTube will allow us to air, so just keep that in mind.
I love how
Although
dysfunctional the three of us
There are some people in the chat that would like to know how the gender reassignment surgery went.
I was already at that. I got a private message about that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, she private messaged you? That's great.
So
She talks
Gareth,
a lot
I
of
got-
shit from behind the keyboard.
Gareth, I got a message for you. But glad to hear he's doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's driving.
He's driving. I mean, he's good enough that they'll allow him to operate a car. Guarantee you he closed that app by accident. He'll be back in like 8 seconds.
For some
Close the app by accident.
reason, it kicked me out there real fast. Whoops. I've also had a little bit to drink, so
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
I drank like a 6-pack of beers that are 8.2%, and then I'm continuing on with Miller. So
Keep that party going, man.
yeah.
Oh,
the
dude,
whole reason
me
the
and
RV
Caleb,
raised
when we
me
went,
to take the truck today, I was cleaning out my truck.
Nick,
and I
your
found a
your
sticker,
audio just
and so I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I cleaned off my back window and just stuck it on there, and then I was like, "Ah shit! If I cleaned off the back window, I should clean off the rest of the truck too." So motivated me to clean my truck.
very nice.
is that better?
Which
Yeah,
was a
we can
No,
hear you,
I
Nick.
don't have.
quit eating, fat
Oh,
ass.
jeez. Audio.
Yeah, you're there, Nick.
I just had to yell at my dog because she was now eating a third bowl of dog food.
Nice.
It's like, stop becoming fat, please. Sorry about the fan, but nothing I can do about it. It's hot out. That's what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Nick.
Oh, jeez. Nick.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
What's going on?
I don't know.
I think whenever you said you were talking about how much you've had to drink, Jay, I think he was going to reminisce on our fishing weekend. I don't know if you heard anything about that, but
I saw some pictures and stuff like that, but
you saw some pictures.
I think
What pictures?
I don't know, man. I'm drunk. Leave me alone.
I don't remember taking any pictures. Nick, what did we do?
Nick took pictures of you, buddy.
Yeah.
Sure. I
Yeah,
missed.
We're gonna have to research some
Have
spots.
any,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find a few spots in Virginia.
Yeah, I know some spots in Virginia, not like spots in particular, but some areas in Virginia that are within the Appalachian Mountain Range that are man, it's just really beautiful, great areas, natural springs, and all kind of shit like that. So
Yeah.
We'll bring Angelo with us. We'll kill him.
we don't need fucking White Claw drinkers out there. Come on.
Yeah,
Dude.
we're trying to make it a romantic weekend for 3 husky guys. Come on, Nick.
Okay, well, yeah, exactly.
Then we should bring
Four's the
Angelo.
crowd, bro.
3's a party, 4's a crowd.
Trust me, I make fun of his weight all the time.
Got to do what you got to do, I guess.
I mean, somebody's got to do it. He's
Yeah.
certainly not going to make fun of his own weight.
No. Yeah, Girth. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we only caught 1 fish that weekend.
I know.
I mean,
Although I
it
did
wasn't-
catch that tree. I caught the hell out of that tree.
that wasn't. I thought it was just a fucking root.
Listen, Gareth,
Dude, I don't know. It weighed like 60 pounds.
you know,
Couldn't have weighed 60 pounds because you only had 20-pound test line on that rod.
I damn near sunk my kayak trying to get the freaking line back.
This is true.
in all honesty, Gareth, it's good to hear from you again, buddy. Glad you're back.
Yep.
Missed you.
That's
Yeah.
what we need to do. We need to get him to go to Virginia. Then
That's
we'll have something.
That's a far ass trip.
All
only
right.
like-
If you're
It's
willing-
only like 7,000 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, Cameron, you're right. That's why
Cam-
they call it fishing and not catching, because
Cameron's got it right. I
Yeah.
mean, Gareth, if you're willing to make the trip, buddy, you're fucking more than willing to have
I'm
you.
still trying to figure out how we walked down to that dock at 11:30 and did not get back to the campsite until like 3:30.
probably cross a time zone or something.
That math did not work out.
No. But all I can say is I think we were fucking done at one point.
We were definitely fucking done.
I
Yeah,
remember-
I am thoroughly convinced we drank enough Friday night that we would have killed Angelo.
Probably.
Like
Especially-
just sheer alcohol poisoning. No physical violence would have ensued. I mean, physical violence would have happened, but I mean, just drinking.
I mean,
Yeah, Jay, honestly, I think that the amount of alcohol Nick and I put down was probably about 2 to 3 times the amount we put down at your wedding weekend in a night.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm proud of you, really, because I mean, at my wedding, we put some booze down.
Put some
We
booze
brought
down and raised empty cans.
We brought over like somewhere in the neighborhood between 30 and 33 beers. At the end of the weekend, we left with like 6.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
Well, you also forgot the fifths of
my wedding. I mean,
whiskey we took.
but
Yeah,
that's-
that was just beer.
that was just me. Like on my wedding when my dad showed up with fucking moonshine.
Yeah, we were doing that too.
Yeah.
Here, take a swig. No, I don't think I don't think I should.
Really? Basically, I think it was
Good.
like if we could figure out like a week to camp together, but it may not be plausible.
It's very rare that you get both me and him trashed in the same place.
Yeah.
Who?
Me and you,
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Caleb and I.
it happens. It happens.
Does
That
happen.
was a fun weekend, though, bud.
We didn't have any projects to break our drinking up with.
Yeah, I think that's where we sinned a little too hard.
Oh,
We
that was
didn't have
full
any
send.
distractions. What's that?
It was a full send.
Yeah, full sin with no like forethought or anything. Just
No.
remember
And then we
getting-
woke up the next morning and we're like, we going kayaking and fishing? We're like, fuck yeah, we are.
oh yeah. Let me have another brewski before we get out on the water. You sure about that, bud? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
I was going to try to show everyone the dogs, but I do not know how to reverse the camera on this thing.
Will it let you flip the camera?
It will not. It will only let me turn it off. I don't want to do that. Anyway,
Well, that's no fun.
no, Angie was big on the dogs.
Well, I see that my buddy Cameron, he chimed in there with the fishing comment. Cameron, you got any questions for the 3 wise men here?
Yeah. I mean, anybody.
The 3 wise men.
I know.
Jay,
I,
he thinks we're smart.
yeah.
What an idiot.
I know I wasn't here for a while, but if anybody has anything for me now, I am here.
Well, hang on. There was a question for you before. Where did
What
it go? Let's see. Oh, it's way up at the beginning. Hang on.
Where's
Where
Jay
did
at?
it- There it is. That's one for you.
Yeah. I got asked about that in my messenger too. Realistically, Girth, I don't think
Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do we got?
I don't think you want to see my penis. So
Would you recommend the doctor?
good to have you back.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
He brought his woman with him too.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Sorry, my dogs aren't in it. Angie, I know they were in it last time.
They're in it to win it.
Yeah, about a month ago.
It was a month ago. Hey, I got an RV tradesman sticker on my fucking truck. Do you? Oh wait, your truck ain't even worth the fucking sticker.
Hell no, he doesn't. The damn adhesive would pull the window out.
Yeah. He's too
Oh.
worried if it's going to make it to work or not.
Probably
What
weighed
kind
down
of
too much.
questions are we wanting? We will answer any question that you ask us in the most truthful and ridiculous fashion we can.
Yep.
I mean, really. I mean,
Yeah,
Emphasis
Cameron,
on ridiculous. The more ridiculous the question, the better.
I was just saying,
Just so you know, Cameron, as you and I have talked before, be careful what you ask because we're going to tell you the straight up truth.
pretty
You
much.
should hear the things that we have speculated on about former
Yeah.
teachers.
Well,
Well,
no,
when-
Nick, he's heard a few of our theories, and he's like, that actually checks out. Him and I go
Dude,
back to my
That
previous
photo of
grid.
that guy that I sent you, that was uncanny, wasn't it?
What
Very
kind of-
uncanny.
or you want, I mean, whatever you want related to life, work, whatever. Ask away.
Where the priest touched me, I don't know. I mean,
I probably got one of them dolls around here that they use in the courtroom. Hang on. Where'd it?
no, my daughter's got plenty of like dolls that we can.
You know,
Like the non-gender specific weird Amish looking doll.
Mm,
doesn't
yeah.
matter what the question is. You can ask us anything.
I'm
Oh.
just glad he's in it, not the other guy that I'm sure the other guy that I sent the link to is watching. But I mean,
Hey,
he's like
you probably talk to a lot of people like I do that are like, oh, I'll watch, but I'm not getting on there and commenting because the government will see my thoughts. And it's like, it's YouTube. They're
Pretty much.
watching everything you watch, stupid.
Hey, bro,
Yeah.
the government's listening in on your phone calls
It's
and reading your
first-
text. So
It's the same person that's posting like.
On your phone calls,
Bill.
they listen to your microphone all the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the terms and agreements for half the apps you download onto your shit?
They're
nope.
like posting rebellious
Exactly.
fucking Facebook and shit. Like fuck this shit.
No, I've gotten in trouble for that question before.
What?
It's a
what
good one,
Cameron
though.
just posted.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I will put it up there. Well, it's your guy,
Who would it be?
My guy.
It's
Sure.
Arlie Ermy.
All right.
Arlie
Yeah.
Ermy. That's a good answer.
I mean,
Yeah, he would be interesting to talk to.
literally who I would fucking meet because he was just the pinnacle of America.
Damn.
He was also in Full Metal Jacket. That's how he got a start.
Yeah. I mean,
And he had a History
did.
Channel show.
a man. That's my dude.
Dead, famous / historic person. Who would it be?
Or George Washington. That would be a good choice.
I don't know, Cameron. I mean,
Do they have to be dead?
well, he said any dead, famous or historical person.
Well, we don't know that George Washington is dead.
Cameron, since you met and I haven't, you're a dick.
Right off the rip.
I
Congratulations, Cameron. You're a dick. No, I don't know. Let's see. Honestly, and Nick, this is probably similar to your answer. I don't know. And people listening on YouTube and stuff, please don't judge me. But honestly, I think it would be kind of neat to be able to go back in time and pick Hitler's brain a little bit. Not for,
That's why I
not
got in trouble
for-
in school.
I know. Not
Ah.
for the whole. Not for the whole like.
Between 1920, what was it? 1921 and 1939, Germany became a superpower again.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here!
Like
Come on.
that's why.
And that's why I got in
because
trouble at
I
school.
want to, and I have too. And believe it or not, so when I was in college, and because I was a history major, one of the things we had to do was write a thesis.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Yeah, it had to be over a 25-page thesis, right? And I decided I'm one. I don't shy away from like controversy or anything like that nowadays. Like,
No, history is
come
written
up.
by the winners. And if
You know
you
what?
look at World War II from the German perspective, it's really fucking interesting.
yeah. Well, and then the other thing is like,
I actually respect Caleb's decision because
He's not smart, but he's got guts, and guts is enough.
yeah. Well, so and the reason why is because
that side of the story, everything we heard was from one side.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
all written by the winners.
I'm not
Hey,
saying,
Jay, you got like shit cell phone signal where you're at, buddy.
yeah, I don't really care.
but yeah, I mean,
I'm not
you know,
saying
it's just all you hear
Right.
about in history class is how he was such like a horrible guy. And yes, what him and his, Third Reich did to,
No. If
Minority
you get
population
rid
stuff.
of if you get rid of the whole thing with the concentration camps and
Killing off,
Jews and
like,
everything like that,
a good bit of the population. Yes.
killing 6 million people, if we ignore that.
Yeah, but like you look at one thing that people hate to admit is during the Holocaust and everything like that, like one thing that came out of it was a lot of medical advances that the Germans did because
Operation Paperclip.
they ran live experiments on people.
All kinds of people.
Very horrible. Don't get me wrong, but because of that, they know
Right.
how long the human body can survive shock and sub-zero temperatures, freezing water before hypothermia sets in and you die. They also proved that you can actually kill somebody if they're blindfolded, and just through sensations. Where some of the tests that they did is they would run basically a butter knife across the arms and like veins and everything. The person was strapped to the chair, and they would just trickle warm water down the person's arms where they were running this butter knife. They weren't cutting the person at all. They were just trickling warm water. And because the person couldn't see or hear what was going on, they felt the sensation of something sharp running across their skin and then feeling warm fluid, thinking that they were bleeding out. And I think 80% of their test subjects actually died sitting there. No blood loss or anything like that. Their body thought that they were bleeding out and completely shut down.
Well, and that's what Operation Paperclip was back in, what was it, 1945, I think, 47, somewhere around there, shortly after the war ended. America made deals with a lot of those scientists, and they brought them over here to get that information because, truth be told, at the end of the day, it would have just been some other scientist doing the exact same thing to get the same information that the Germans already had.
The only difference is they would have just had a control subject of one person instead of, the hundreds or thousands of people that.
When I was in high school, had an English teacher. I remember it was my senior year, and she had these different photos, right? Whatever there was, 10, 12 of them, whatever it was. And each photo had like a number on it, right? And they were all different, famous, easily recognizable people, people like household names, I guess, Michael Jordan and, people like that. And she gave us a worksheet that had questions on it. It would say like, who is person number one? You'd be like, oh, Michael Jordan. What is person number one famous for? Oh, he, played for the Chicago Bulls, or played basketball or whatever. Right. And one of the
aliens in Space Jam.
He defeated the alien, and he fucking like stretched. Did you see how long he stretched his arm? I mean, how long is a freaking basketball court? That had to have been like 50 feet. Who has a 50-foot long arm?
The real Armstrong right there.
Exactly. These are the things we need to be talking about, people.
Continue.
But one of the photos was Hitler. And the very last question on the worksheet was, if you could talk to any of these people, barring any circumstances, language, death, whatever, who would that person be? And I was like, it's a bunch of celebrities and sports players that I don't care about. I would like to bring Hitler back and talk to him. You took Germany from poverty to global superpower in under 20 years. That's a person I want to talk to.
Now,
in not saying that the way he went about it was great, but
but he
did it.
And America did a lot of the same things, not the genocide and things like that, but they saw that Germany was building up their military, and that's how they were bringing their economy back during the Great Depression, and that's why we have the Hoover Dam. And
I truthfully,
well,
I think America was the same
that's
thing.
why we have the interstate highway system, which is also partly because of the Cold War, but it's the reason why we have Mount Rushmore, and a bunch of these, big projects were started because America saw that Germany was bringing their economy back. They didn't want to build their military at the time, but they wanted to put money into building other projects.
Yeah.
They
Well,
stole,
and
that was straight out of Hitler's playbook. They took that.
Yeah.
And
think-
I
well-
ended up going to the principal's office because the teacher got so pissed off. And when the principal asked me about that, I said just that. I said he took Germany from poverty to global superpower in under 20 years. And if she's got such a problem with it, that shouldn't be an option to be an answer.
Yeah, exactly.
no.
No,
Plain and
Well,
simple.
and, I mean, not to mention like during Germany's like industrial revolution, I mean they came up with the first jet plane. Did it?
So they came up with the V2 rocket.
Yeah, rockets, jet planes. Hell, they're scientists. If
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 they
we
had,
didn't, yeah, if we didn't get half their scientists, they would have had the atomic bomb before we did. They
Oh,
were on
yeah.
the verge of it. They had they actually had the everything set up for the hydrogen bomb. Like Hitler, he didn't put any funding into the nuclear project. He was putting everything into like heavy water and the hydrogen bomb and everything.
wasn't
like that.
Einstein, wasn't he Jewish or something? And that's why he came over here and
Yeah.
developed the
So
bomb for
his
us?
family
Yeah.
defected right as things started to make a turn before all the concentration camps and everything went. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
And truth
Ah.
be told, war and genocide and things like that are just it's population control is all it is. It's no different than deer dying of natural causes. As sick and
Well-
twisted and sadistic as that sounds, it's the truth.
yeah. Well, in times of war, that's where every major country or every major player has the most advanced technological advances within their societies is because of war. Because they're finding new ways to find people, find objects, and all in all, kill people.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
US
war's a
military-
bad thing.
And we wouldn't have all these great jokes about the French if it wasn't for
US
World War One and Two.
started on a new weapon and caliber.
Goethe makes a good point with, without Nazi Germany, we never would have made it to the moon. I mean, he's right. A lot of the first NASA scientists and everything were all,
No, I mean,
actually, we took a lot of the technology for our first rockets from the V2 design.
yeah,
We
no,
just altered them to get
They-
more propulsion and
they were like the pioneers of everything.
And you're right about technological advances during wartime, because if you look at the like the Franco-Prussian War or the Japanese-Russo War, and then you look at World War One and see how far everything advanced, and then you look at from World War One to World War Two, how far everything advanced from there. I mean, you're talking about we grew at a rate that like
We were growing at like
was dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about any other species progressing that quickly in nature, you'd be like, that species is going to be burned out in 10 years.
can't
yeah,
twice as bright, burns half as long.
Exactly.
yeah,
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
oh yeah, man.
There's
So
the
that,
Ray
was,
brothers.
Great,
that was a good
great
question.
question, Cameron. Good,
Yeah. Really
good one. I think that was the most controversial answer two of us
That me and you could have had.
You know, there's different ways to look at that time that Caleb's talking about. Is you can look at it as
Well, think about how the British look at somebody like George Washington or
I mean,
John Hancock or somebody.
here.
They
here-
probably look at them in almost the same regard.
Here's the real big thing now is that shit happened and it's over and done with. We can't do shit about it. Nothing. Like it's over, done.
Not until we develop time travel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's already been developed in
so
2053.
at the very least,
I mean,
I'm-
technically speaking, Albert Einstein kind
we
of
can't.
figured it out.
I don't think that it's smart to forget that it happened because, yes, what happened was very bad, but at the same time, there, like Nick was talking about and Caleb were talking about, there was a lot of really positive things that came from it. You know, So
Well,
this bullshit of nowadays, as we need to just erase history and start over, is fucking horseshit.
Well, I
Because-
was talking
and
to
real
this
quick,
lady
Jay,
the
so
other
like
day
that actually goes back to my quote that I had. Those
that
who,
you weren't here for.
Yeah, Jay, you should have been here for
Dick.
that. But
well,
I mean, that goes back to what my quote for tonight was: a careful reading of history shows that most people don't read history.
Well, and it's funny that you're talking about, like, we shouldn't forget these things. I was talking to a lady the other day who's from the Czech Republic, and she's like, yeah, I talk to people. She's like, because she told me she's from the Czech Republic, and I was like, oh, wow. I was like, that's pretty cool. And we got to talking and everything. I was like, I don't know too much about the Czech Republic. I know it was a former part of Prussia. And then, like, during, World War I, World War II, there was the whole separations and everything like that. And then you got a bunch of those Bohemian countries sort of defected off of Germany and things like that and became their own countries. And she was like, wow, she's like, nobody I talk to knows anything about like how Czech Republic got started or anything. And I was like, well, I don't know. It's in the fucking history books. And she was like, most people that I talk to don't even have a clue who Hitler is. I was like,
well,
I'm like, I talk to people about Mussolini and Stalin, and they're like, who the hell are those guys? And I'm like, they're the other fucking two guys of the damn Voltron over there.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like there was
and like so going back to the Germany topic. So like I had a great aunt. She's since passed, but she remembers.
Well, we don't know that she's great. I've seen no evidence.
Well,
what did she?
like
What did
great,
she
I mean,
contribute?
like,
That's so awesome.
Well, how she's related to me.
Did she develop the Stoner rifle?
No, but
Oh,
anywho,
that doesn't sound very
so
great to me.
she sounds trash.
She
Bet she drinks Starbucks too. Basic ass bitch.
So she was a child in Nazi Germany. She was from Germany, and her dad was conscripted into the SS, and it wasn't by like choice or anything like that. It was like they basically knocked on the door one day and said, "Hey, you're going to be this area's SS guard." He's like, "Well, what if I don't want to be?" They're like, "Well,
then you die."
They're like, "Well, step
after
outside
we murder
and
your
we're gonna
family in
execute
front of you."
Yeah. So he was actually a member of the SS, but like she remembers wartime and like Hitler being broadcasted on the radio, and then like because her father was conscripted into the SS, they were provided like a TV, and so she remembers like being a young girl and like hearing his speeches on the radio, then seeing him on the TV and going to power and everything like that. But like the things that she recalled the most was she remembered whenever they go into town and like they'd go on the train would go through, the ghettos and everything. And she remembered the
Which
town
is
that
an
she
actual term that originated during the war.
Yeah. And so like she remembered going through and seeing all those people and asked her mom like why are those people living like that? Just being a young kid, and the mom's like, well, we just don't talk about it. And right outside of the town that she lived in was one of the death camps, and she remembered just like piles of shoes and clothing and all this other stuff from people that were taken into the camps and everything and executed because they stripped them of all their personal belongings before they execute them and whatnot. But
I'm just saying, Auschwitz was located in Poland.
Yeah. Well, there were more than just Auschwitz. The actually Auschwitz was
I don't think Dachau was located in Germany either.
No, but
Germany didn't kill nearly as many people as they get credit for.
Gareth,
so they put all of the death camps outside of the German territories, but Dachau was in Munich, was outside of Munich in that area. But anyway, so Dachau, that death camp was actually the blueprint that they used to create Auschwitz. And I've actually in high school, because I'm big into history, and Germany and speaking German and stuff like that, I actually was able to go on a trip to all the German speaking countries in high school, and we actually got to do a tour of Dachau, which was like the first death camp in Germany, and it was within Germany. Um, and that's what Hitler basically based his blueprints for Auschwitz on, which was pretty. It wasn't neat, like that's not the right term, but I remember going
No,
through.
you can find something interesting, I think.
I like it was very interesting, but like I don't know if y'all ever gone to like a
without
monument
supporting
or
it.
like a cemetery or anything like that, but like going into Dachau, like have you ever walked in anywhere like historical where it's like you realize like, hey, this is where X number of people died for this reason, or like this happened here, and you just kind of feel like a whole like the air feels lighter or heavier once you go past like onto the property. Like that was the feeling that we had there, and like when we went through the gates, they had
change it up, change the scenario up. So like Gettysburg,
yeah,
lots of people died there, again, whether for the right or the wrong reasons, depending on what your views on certain things are. But you can make that same thing of like, it's an interesting place to be of like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I just saw
and just kind of going back to what you were saying for a second about your great aunt and everything. I don't want anybody thinking that I'm speaking from a place of ignorance either, because I had family that escaped both, well, actually Italy, Poland, and I had family similar to what you're saying where, hearing the stories about them arguing over, what's going on in Germany at the time, at the dinner table, talking about different things. So,
and that was stuff that my great aunt like was witness to with family.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. My grandmother was witness to that. And, my one grandfather, he came over on the boat from Italy, and there's a couple variations to that story, depending on which family members you ask and stuff. And he's no longer around to ask. And then my other grandfather, his family came over from Poland. So I know you want me to highlight that comment from Girth, don't you?
Yeah.
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 All right. You got to answer it first then.
All right,
I like the for some reason you have a gun to your head.
So yeah,
as if that's the weird part of the question.
Yeah, the one guy that can't own a gun, right?
Maybe that's what it is. He's like he's like never seen one before. He has no idea what they look like.
You stick.
He's like it's kind of square shaped like a brick, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Has to be a power tool. Which one and why? Well,
Jay's the biggest tool we got here.
Yeah. You know what, Girth? I'm gonna cheat on this one. I'm gonna say my little pin light. Because it is a power tool.
It requires power.
And
this is what these questions are about. They're about finding the loopholes.
Hell yeah. So it'd be the little pin light that I carry in my my tool bag or in my pocket most of the time, honestly. So yeah, it's very small. And yeah, I don't think it would hurt that much.
The funny thing is this comment does not pop up in YouTube.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think probably because you used the word ass. But we still get to see it, much like the name of his famous cricket stadium or whatever the hell that was.
No, you're right. It doesn't pop up in the comments on YouTube at all. But they'll let him post Nazi.
I mean,
what's worse? Nazi in like the you know,
Well,
6 million people that got murdered, or
ass is a
Yeah.
bad word.
yeah, what the hell?
God knows we would never use bad words on our show.
All right, Nick,
never
you're
say.
next. What power tool would you put up your ass?
A 3/4 inch drive,
Yeah,
high torque impact. No
nice.
question.
Nice. What about you? Poor Jay.
This is good. We got like the husband and the wife thing in here.
Yeah.
Angie,
No,
would you
I-
like
I-
me to send you the link, and would you care to elaborate on that further?
Who, Angie?
Yeah. No wonder they call him Girth. Yeah, no, that works. That works. Arse works.
Arse. Not a
All
couple.
right, Jay.
Just
Which one of your tools are you shoving up your ass?
Sawzall.
It's a solid choice. Just no hesitation in that either. He knew exactly where he was going with that.
oh, which blade attachment?
Wood blade, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's right with the wood blade. You want to feel the teeth on that one.
Yeah. You know they make a pruning blade that has bigger teeth.
Get the carbide on it
If I-
too. That way, if there's a nail shoved up there, it'll just cut through it.
fucking sin.
Yeah. Dude, we aren't a couple. PS. Just saying. Interesting.
Goodbye.
He said orbital sander.
You're 40.
I want it to hurt.
I want. Well,
All right.
buddy.
Oh, jeez.
Not sure what that means, but I feel like we're being insulted.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like Jay, I know you've seen the movie oh man, the name just fucking blanked out of my head as soon as I went to go say it. The Outpost. I know you've seen it. I feel like that's a recurring question that they're always asking each other in that.
Yeah.
They're great.
What'd you put in your ass?
That's great though. I just love that.
I love that movie.
I just love the for some reason you have a gun to your head. Like he's writing. I picture him writing that and being like, yeah, the gun part's gonna be kind of weird.
Yeah, but I need to put that in there so that way they know they have to answer it. Huh.
What?
YouTube let that one go up there too, huh?
I guess you can say porn.
Yeah.
Hey Gert, just start typing in all kinds of different obscenities and we'll figure out which ones that they'll allow and which ones they won't.
Yeah. Apparently the rules differ in Australia than they do here.
Oh no, they don't.
Yeah.
Jay has a screenshot that proves that they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean to cut things short, but I'm probably going to have to get off here soon.
I think we're gonna have to end it here pretty soon
What?
because we are pushing an hour and a half.
Yeah. But real quick, to answer Garth's question about the
Shall I throw it up on the screen?
yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's get booted. Let's do it.
Welcome
All
to
right.
the last show that
Real
we'll ever
quick.
do.
So, have you ever had a porn movie pizza delivery guy type situation on a job call out?
Actually, yes, I
What
have
is
had
it
that
with you and
situation.
sex? If so, what is his name?
So when I worked residential, I legitimately had a woman offer to pay with sex. It happened 2 times,
Oh yeah,
and they are not the chicks from the internet. I can guarantee you that much.
residential is pretty. They're like, oh, you want to fuck for money? It's like, yeah, I know you're a gilf.
So
I've also had a person offer to pay me with a hand grenade, and one other person offered to pay me with a brick of weed.
Yeah, that's
Residential's weird.
Yeah, I've never had that kind of situation. When I was in my previous career, which was law enforcement, I came
Here he goes
across
showing off again.
yeah. I came across a lot of noise complaints or suspicious 911 calls where they heard someone like with agonized breathing or saying like, no, please get off. And it was basically, couples role playing and stuff like that. Calls for a really awkward encounter. Um, in my new
I
career,
think your role playing has gone too far when you're calling 911.
well, they didn't mean to. It was like butt dials.
What the hell kind of fucked up like scenario is that? Okay, I'm gonna jump out of the closet. You pretend to be scared and call 911.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
you're too
people do
committed.
weird shit, right? In my current profession, the closest I got was, I had a homeowner. I was relatively new.
I gotta
and
admit, he knows us well.
they kept
He
saying,
knows us very well.
Angie, I love your message. Moist, queefing nipples.
Right? I gotta say, Girth knows us well.
yeah, he does.
Going back into the darkness. So,
But
Well,
no,
see-
closest situation I ever had was I was still doing warranty work, and this one particular individual was like, interesting.
That word is not used nearly enough. I'm sorry.
YouTube won't let that one post.
yeah,
Um,
No, it won't.
but yeah, so I had one homeowner's like, oh, and while you're here, and
Hey,
my
Garth,
husband's
type in the
out
name of the
house.
stadium down there so that Caleb can see it.
Yeah. It's like, so while my husband's out of the house and you're here, I have a warranty question, but I need you to come into my bedroom for me to ask it. And I was like, is it involving something in your bedroom? Well, it could. I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, you can ask me here. Well, no, just come to my bedroom so I can show you what I'm talking about. I'm like, just describe it to me. No, come to they're like, yeah, no, I'm gonna sit right here at the front door. And then this one particular individual is like, can I have your number so that way you I can just text you my questions because the guy you're training with won't respond to me. I'm like, no, like you have his number, like he's handling the warranty. I'm just in training and sitting on the house making sure the trade shows up. But I really want your number. I'm like, no, not gonna give it to you. Made the mistake, gave her my number, and I got some weird freaking texts after that.
I won't lie.
But yeah, that was my closest story.
I did go to one chick's house that had a sex swing in it. That was kind of interesting. And a stripper pole.
Nice.
I was like, okay.
Anything's a stripper pole if you're adventurous enough.
That sounds pretty cool, honestly.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we should probably wrap it up. Like
We
you
should
said, we're
probably wrap it up.
an hour and a half in.
I
Only
love it.
about 34
Very-
minutes past what we said we were going to do.
Yep.
Garrett,
Well, we didn't get the good questions till like 45 minutes in, you know?
I know. That was a really good question. He needs to come back on and ask more really good, thought provoking questions that me and you have the same answer for.
Anyone from history that you could talk to, dead.
As a matter of fact,
Well, I do. I got in trouble once. Well, I did too. Damn it, Nick. It's the same person.
did we have the same English teacher?
Probably.
Husband and wife team worked at the school together?
Yes.
Yep, we had the same English teacher.
Did you have the wife or the husband?
I had, well, I had the wife for freshman year, the husband for sophomore year, and then
Which
the wife
one?
for senior year
Which
again.
one did you get in trouble with?
The wife.
Yeah, no, the husband.
He was actually kind of cool for as boring as he was.
Yeah, so I had him for German. I never had him for English. I had him for German. But he did the same thing in his class for German, and I answered the same way. And he's like, "You care to explain?" And I basically had the same answer. Like, I mean, you got a guy took, a place that was in poverty from poverty to a world superpower in like 7 years. Like, who else has done that in history? Not very many people.
What the shit is a fortnight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in. Sorry we went long, but
That was our show for the. We just got to
Q&A.
give a quick shout out to Jenna, Monica's sister. She does the awesome thumbnails for all the videos. Monica takes care of all the social media stuff. Don't say anything mean to her about me and Hudson wanting to talk to Hitler.
Yep. Save it for the next live stream chat. Let us know that we're all going to hell. We already knew that. So,
I mean, that's
is what
fine.
it is.
I'll get on here and defend my answer.
yeah, I mean, anyone that wants to have a logical and rational debate about it, like I said, I had a 25-page thesis that I went 5-page over, turned in a 30-page thesis about Nazi propaganda and why, Hitler used basically at the time social media and stuff to come to power and sway people to believe the way he believed. And my history professor looked at me and like, no one's ever written this before. Good job.
Well, you've never had me in your class before, now have you?
Yeah. So, but it's one of those things like I said with the quote, those who the more you
gotta
read about
think outside
history,
the
the more you
box,
realize
man.
people don't read it.
You got to think outside the box.
Yep. So I don't admire what he did. That was negative. I definitely condone him on that. But at the same time, I think some of the stuff that he did was good for his country at the time. Just if he killed less people, probably be a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Jackson didn't do a whole lot of great things.
No.
He was a U.S. president.
Neither did fucking Sherman, but people keep praising him for burning down half the South.
Yeah, I have a story about that too. We'll save it for the next one.
Yep. All right.
2 weeks from
next
now, we
Q&A.
discuss Sherman.
Hell yeah. More history. All right. Ladies and gents, y'all have a good Friday 13th. If you're about to go to bed, sweet dreams. If you're going to stay up and party, stay safe. Weird stuff happens on the 13th.
If you're going to do something crazy, at least name it after one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on that note,
see you next time.